It's Bruce Phares here. It's the 12th of September. Let's take a look at the market. I'm looking for 145th up here in the north end, all the way down to about south of Fellow, basically water to water. And if I take a look at the statistics that we're tracking here, this week right here shows us 258 new listings. This is the MLS's market watch versus mine. So MLS shows 258 new listings. That's both condos and single family residences, but only 137 pending at this point in time. So it's a big shift. If I go back a number of months in time, probably about to March, January, March or so, we're seeing 113 new listings in that week time versus 183 going into pending status in that exact same time. And there's your imbalance that caused the constant competition. So if I go back over here and look at these numbers here, I'm seeing that my newly actives for the week are at the highest number probably for the last year and a half to 2 years, at 800 plus basically per week, a couple of weeks in a row. Our highest numbers in a weekly time frame, these are actually on market sitting there in the time frame of 1 week. 368 was in the middle of June, 370 just before that, May. And looking at pendings, however, interestingly, we had this big surge of 370, but we had our highest numbers of properties that went into pending status, and we had our highest number of properties that went into pending status with only 7 days or less on market, 202 versus, look at this right now. This is our current amount of pendings in this last 7 days that went into pending status with only 7 days or less on market. Very cool, the blue versus hot at 202. Same thing here for our 6-day off markets, 32 of those. And my total amount of pendings and pending inspections currently is at 503 versus the total amount at that time frame was 767, with the highest number just almost hitting 200 in a weekly time frame, which was just amazing. So here's our final set of numbers, and I'll quit grinding on that. And then here that we had 100 and roughly 170 or so percent of pendings to new actives, which meant that they were just going off market, almost 1.5 times faster than they were coming on market. 113% new pendings versus new actives using the NWMLS. So that's how that works. So let's take a look at some stats here real quickly. One of the things I'm able to track is how many showings take place. Whenever an agent shows property, they have to use a key box, and the key box shows the MLS how many people are entering different properties. So here we are going back in time. Let me get this thing out of the way. There you go. In January of 2021, we had, and I'm going to look at the green primarily. That's Seattle Central North, Ballard over View Ridge. So I'm looking at that area that's north of Motley Cut up to about 85th. We had 24 showings per property going on market, and then going off market dropped down to as low as 14 from 24. Then we went boom and crested up to 30 30 showings. Sorry, something popped on my screen there. 30 showings per listing, and then look at this dropping down to 8. We're at 8.5. So you can see there's a real shift taking place there. Buyers are pulling out of the market, less activity. Pending sales, highest amount here at May 2021, and that's 369 of them. 369 of them in that area, again north of Motley Cut. Here's our absolute low, 139 new pendings in 1 month time, getting back up into the 319 range, and now at 257. Oops, we did showings per listing. Pending sales per month, our absolute crest was right there at May 21. We're almost like that at 319 versus 369. This is for March of 2022. Here's our drop down. Our lowest point was right around there, which is to be expected as a result of a holiday. But here we are, and we're at July, and look at that. We're down to 200 essentially in the north end, which is where the majority of our activity takes place. The new listings coming on market, big drop here, again expected because of the holiday at the end of 2021. People were pretty exhausted. But look at this, the overall market, overall MLS, and that's almost half the state of Washington gets just pushed way up. Same thing here for the Ballard View Ridge. We are at 106 at low point, and then up to 454 new listings, and now we're down to 290 in the last last month. Median days on market, you can see that it has popped up. Now, it's not a huge amount because here's 10 over here, right? But obviously, big shift in all of the different markets, whether you're south of the Montlake Cut, north of the Montlake Cut, over in West Seattle. We're heading upwards again. Median price, crest of market, there it is right there. And I call that the center of the sun, that area from Montlake Cut up to 85th. Absolute peak of market in terms of price per square foot at $654 per square foot right there, April of 2022. And let's see what it dropped down to, 576. So if I just do some rough math, I'm going to tell you that's $75,000 price differential in that little time frame. Same thing, you're seeing West Seattle cresting at 593 down to 498. You're seeing the south end from the Montlake Cut down to Kubota, going from crest of market at 545 now down at 460. That's median price per square foot on the sold prices. Our sales prices, here's our crests again, April, May. Let's see, that's your north of Montlake Cut in the green, and then there's our West Seattle right there, kind of lagged behind just a little bit. That's kind of a high number, obviously. Just over 1 million now is down at 835 versus your north end at 1 million again, call it. Did I read that wrong? No, I did read that. Nope, I didn't read that wrong. Forgive me. Same thing, just over 1 million down to 875. How about that? Really an interesting set of numbers there. Your south end crest was right here, essentially at 882, 880, and down to 779. So call it $80,000. So those are your differences, and that's really all I think I need to push towards you right now. Oh, let's take a look. One more thing. This is just for fun. I'm going to look at where are the properties. This is the dashboard that have gone pending since the first of this month that were only 10 days on market. So we have 106 total matches of properties that went into pending status in that time frame. But if I go like this and say under, let's go 0 to 7 days on market. So 106 goes down to 35, so it's 1/3 essentially. And let's take a look at where those land. So we've got a handful over here, smattering up in here, only one there, and a couple over in West Seattle. So that's how we get that number. All right, so that's it for this week or this month, depending upon what we're doing these days, and we'll take it from there. Hope you guys are doing great. Give a call if you have any questions. Take good care.